Race strategies are a huge part of racing, both in real-world competition and in the sim. In F1 25, your race strategy can be the difference between pulling off the perfect one stop and winning the race, or running out of tyres and having to pit one too many times. Choosing the right race strategy before every race can give you a really big advantage heading into the Grand Prix. No matter whether you're starting on pole or in the mid-pack, your race strategy can make or break your weekend. In this video, I'm going to look at what you can change in the race strategy screen in F1 25, and I'll also recommend my top tips for choosing the best strategy every single weekend. Now, before every race, you'll see the race strategy screen, and this is where you choose your tyres, when and how many times you're going to pit. Of course, you can also go off-piste and make changes to your strategy mid-race, and sometimes a well-timed safety car can require on-the-fly changes. However, planning the best strategy before you pull away from the grid will put you in the best position. In F1 25, you've always presented two race strategy options before the race. You have the default strategy, which is often the quickest, and then an alternate strategy. This alt strategy can include a different number of pit stops and or tyre choices. Depending on where you're starting during the race, default or the alternate strategy may be the best option for you. You can always see the overall race time in each strategy box to help you decide which one to start with. Now, if you took part in the practice sessions, the race strategies can also be personalized to your own driving. The strategies will take on your tyre wear and usage throughout your practice session to customize and adjust your strategy to be more accurate to your own driving style. But just because a certain strategy is presented in one of those two options doesn't mean you have to stick to the recommendations. You can go into and adjust various parts of your strategy to pull off the exact strategy you want each race. The elements you can change are your starting tyre compound, how many pit stops you're going to make, when you're going to pit and what laps you're going to pit on, what tyres you'll switch to after pitting, your starting fuel level, and your car setup. Talking of car setups, that brings me on to this video sponsor, which once again is our Pro F1 25 car setups and strategies bundle. If all of this race strategy malarkey is a little bit too overwhelming, or you really just don't care, our bundle includes optimal race strategies and alternate race strategies for every single race weekend. So you can just copy our values over, set it and forget it, and know that you're on a pretty good strategy. As the name implies, the bundle also includes optimal car setups created by some of the fastest drivers in F1 25. I'll leave a link in the description below and a card in the top corner to go ahead and check out our pro setups and strategies. And if you're not sure whether to buy or not, our Australia setup and strategy is completely free to test out. Now back to the overall race strategy, and I'm going to start with your tyres. Tyres you choose during a race are one of the biggest decisions when it comes to your overall strategy. After all, choosing the wrong tyre compound can result in your lap times dropping off as your tyres wear too quickly, or having to make an extra pit stop compared to everyone else if you haven't quite planned things correctly. The goal with tyre choice is to choose the fastest tyres possible that can be used, while ensuring the tyre wear isn't too bad. Ideally, you're going to want to pit once or twice during a race, and very rarely 3 times or more. Choosing the softest tyre that allows for a one-stop or a two-stop strategy is often the best route. For example, you're rarely going to want to use the hard tyre more than once in a race, as it's the slowest of the 3 compounds. However, the soft tyre can often wear too fast, and if you run it once or twice or 3 times during a race, it can lead to way too many pit stops, making it unviable for a good strategy. You can see the tyre wear and lap estimates in the race strategy screen, and these are represented by the coloured blocks in the dashed line. The declining coloured block shows the tyre wear across a stint. Each tyre will wear at a different rate, and you'll generally want to change your tyre before reaching 65-75% wear. The increasing dotted line shows your estimated lap time. This shows how your lap time is going to increase and get slower as your tyres wear throughout a whole stint. Now, if you're not too familiar with the tyre compounds, each one in F1 25 has its own characteristics. The soft tyre, which is marked by the red sidewall, will be the fastest tyre, but it will also wear the quickest as well. It's often not a great race tyre as it can overheat quickly and wear too fast. The medium tyre, which is yellow, is often a very good race tyre. It balances wear and performance in between the soft and hard, and is a kind of middle ground. The white hard tyre is the one that's going to last the longest, but normally it'll always be the slowest tyre. When performing a one-stop strategy, this is often a popular tyre to use, as it can quite often last over half of the race before wearing too much, and then you can quickly switch to a medium and finish the race. You've also got your intermediate and your full wet tyre. The intermediate is green and is ideal for light and medium rain, and the extreme wet tyre is blue and designed for the heaviest wet weather conditions. When you are deciding on which tyre to use in the race, your decision comes down to a few things. First and foremost, how long is your tyre going to last? Secondly, how fast is it? There's no point using a hard tyre for the whole race just to reduce the amount of pit stops you make if it is way slower than the medium or soft tyres. Often a two-stop strategy using softer tyres can be equally as fast or faster than one-stop strategies that use the slower hard tyre. Generally, the medium and hard tyres should be used during a race as the red, soft, can wear way too fast, although if you are planning on pitting twice, you may be able to use the soft tyre as you won't be running it for as many laps. And don't forget the Formula 1 tyre rule, which means you have to run 2 different compounds during a race. You can't just run hard or 3 mediums, for example. You have to switch your compounds, so a hard medium or a soft medium hard, something like that. Now, deciding on whether you're going to one-stop or two-stop in F1 25 comes down to how fast or slow each tyre is. A pit stop is going to generally cost you 20-25 seconds of time, so you're going to want to do it as few times as possible during a race. If you can comfortably pit once, you're saving yourself 20 seconds of race time right there. However, if you are on slow tyres to make that one-stop strategy happen, it could be beneficial to consider two-stopping. Two-stop strategy works if you can, say, make up that 20-25 seconds that a pit stop costs by using the softer, faster tyres. As an example, if you chose to one-stop using the medium and hard tyres, but you're lapping, say, on average a second slower than a driver who is on the soft tyres and planning to pit twice, across a 30-lap race, this 1 second average lap time difference can result in the two-stop strategy being faster. Now, something else to bear in mind on the strategy screen is your weather. You can see the estimated weather forecast throughout a whole race session, and this can really help you plan which tyre strategy to choose. You see it's going to rain around halfway through a race. You may choose a strategy where you start on the hard tyre, which will last until it rains. Then you simply pit onto the intermediate or wet tyres. This would be faster than using the soft tyres initially, pitting early onto another set of dry tyres, and then when the rain comes, you've got to pit again for wet tyres. And another choice you have is your starting fuel level. This is the amount of fuel you put into your car at the start of a race. Unlike many forms of motorsport, you can't refuel your car in Formula 1. This means you need to make this fuel last until the finish line. Generally, sticking an extra lap of fuel in is advised as it will let you push harder and not have to fuel save during a race. However, do bear in mind the more fuel you add to your car, the heavier and slower it's going to become. This is a balance between not adding too much fuel that you lose too much lap time, but having enough so you don't run out or need to fuel save during a race, which will also cost you lap time. Now, if you watch Formula 1 regularly, you'll often hear the commentators talking about undercuts and overcuts. These are strategy calls that you make mid-race and are the terms given to pitting before or after your opponent with the intention of pulling off and overtaking the pits. The undercut is the term given to pitting before a car you're racing, while an overcut is pitting after your opponent pits. Both strategies can work, and it all depends on the track, your tyres, your grip levels, and the position you'll be in when you come out of the pits. An undercut will see you pitting before a car you're racing, and the theory behind this is that you'll be on faster tyres before your opponent. Then you'll be able to put in fast lap times after coming out of the pits, and by the time the other car has pitted, say a lap, 2-3 laps after you, you'll have gained some time on them thanks to your fresher, faster tyres. The overcut strategy is the complete opposite, and this can also work. Say your opponent pits onto slower tyres than you're already on, say you're both on mediums and you're both going to pit for hards. They will be slower when they come out the pits potentially, or they may pit into traffic and get stuck behind slower cars after rejoining the racetrack. Say when you're leading a race, overcutting can work really well, as you may be behind slower cars that haven't pitted after rejoining the track. While your opposition is stuck lapping slower behind midfield traffic, you could be putting in faster laps at the front, allowing you to overcut and actually increase your lead. Now, the final part of your race strategy is your car setup. You can change just a few options before the race, but if you don't have Parc Ferme enabled or haven't taken part in any qualifying session, you can also change your entire car setup. If you did qualify and do have Parc Ferme enabled, you can only change a few settings, which include the front wing, on-throttle differential, your brake bias, and your tyre pressures. It's important to bear this in mind heading into a race and actually set up your car before qualifying with the race in mind. And that's going to round out this video about race strategy in F1 25. Hopefully some of this information has been helpful. Let me know in the comments if it has, and if it hasn't, also let me know in the comments and tell me what an idiot I am. But for now guys, enjoy F1 25, stay safe, stay sexy, and I'll see you on track.